Robert's Rules of Orders, we need a motion to open a public hearing. May I have a motion to open the public
I'll
hearing?
make a motion to open the public hearing.
May I have a second?
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, so the first public hearing is the Bernhardt?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
You have the one?
Yes, I get that.
That's the first one.
And that is,
Two-car garage.
That's the, I believe, the garage.
Yes.
Yes.
and are those people present? Hi there.
The applicant is present.
And this is a public hearing. You were here last time, right? Okay. So do you guys understand the issues?
Which
Yeah,
one are we looking
the
at?
issue is that.
Durga Bernhardt.
Yeah, she's looking for an area variance on, she has a two-car garage that's currently on the property, that's been there for a while. It seems that it's 2 feet off of state land on one side, and they have quite a few acres of land. And half the garage, they want to convert into a housing place for their daughter without a kitchen. And it's gonna have septic and, waste removal, and the garage it's already electrified, it already has electricity. So it'll be a matter of converting half of the garage into a living space. And she requested an area variance, which I think they probably got an area variance when they built the garage originally.
Yes.
So I think the issue is probably with the planning board.
So I think the main issue is this is the same footprint. You're not building out any decking or anything like that.
There's not gonna be any change from
So
the
there's no-
outside at all, except that
There's
one
no-
garage door will be replaced by a wall with a window.
No variance, actually.
So we're thinking a variance is not required. You're transiting, there is a use transit from, I guess, an accessory structure or garage into what the code refers to as a dwelling.
Right.
I don't know if they need a use variance for this. I don't think so.
No.
There's no impact on public access to the public right-of-way. There is no change to any frontage on your property.
Nothing. No
So,
change at all.
well, we appreciate you coming in front of the zoning board and trying to be
Yeah.
street legal.
But that's okay. I
But,
only live 5 minutes away.
oh, okay. You live 10 minutes away, and I'm sorry, I'm a few minutes away. Are we in agreement then that this young lady does not need
Right.
a variance?
I agree with that.
Okay,
Gary?
thank you.
I don't think there needs to be a vote on this.
No.
This is just a determination that.
Yeah, I don't
that
think it's
you- What the plans you presented to this board are legal as long as you stay in the initial footprint of the property, which would be grandfathered in anyway.
Yep.
Okay, end of story.
Great. So does that mean that I don't have to come back with your name?
No, why would
No.
you?
She's in front of the planning board, and everyone.
She's gonna need, yeah,
Variance.
the planning board.
A variance for use.
No, the variance, because of the change of the use, it sits within the 10 feet. So because it's changing into a structure of like living, the board told her she had to get a variance, and the board doesn't want any conditions on their special use permits anymore. So they wanted her to see through the process and get her area variance, or area variance, and then they can decide. So yes, she still has to go in June.
There is
She's in
no,
front of the planning
What,
there is
what,
no,
what is the area variance for?
Because she abuts that state land, it's too close to the state land.
It's been there.
It's been there, it's an existing
It's changing
structure.
now. That's why the board said, because you're changing into this, you still have to go get the variance, which they do all the time.
because you're changing the use.
Yeah. But whatever,
Well-
if that's your decision, so be it.
If that's what the board is
But
asking
you
us,
should try to watch
so you're saying that's what the planning board is asking of us?
Yes, yes, the planning board sent her here when I was still the code enforcer.
Well,
We can easily grant
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, if you don't even think a
It's kind of a
variance is
no-brainer.
necessary,
I don't
then
think
why
a variance is needed.
why does there have to be another public hearing then?
Yeah, right, if we
Because
grant
you
the
have
permit,
to
we
get
gotta get
special use
we
permit
gotta
from
schedule a
the
public
planning
hearing.
board, and that's not finished. That's why you.
Public
have to
hearing
do
with
it.
the
It's a whole
planning
different
board.
Remember, it's
No,
a different
with
board.
us, we'd have to schedule.
Well, this is a
This is
public
it.
hearing.
This is a public, okay.
Yeah.
And then that should be the last one.
And there are no objections.
Right,
She's
yeah,
bored of
that you
state
would have
land.
to attend.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, it's up to the planning board.
Right.
to decide.
Structure's always been there.
Yeah, they're two different standards.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it should be a done deal by the next meeting.
In-law dwelling.
Yeah.
You could convert a garage or an attic into their in-laws.
So that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we can easily vote to allow that 2-foot variance, since it is a change of use. So in other words, you're changing from accessory structure, which could be garage, chicken coop, or whatever, into a dwelling, which is now human occupied, so there's a different set of regulations.
Like,
which-
on 11640, you can't even see it if she doesn't meet the setbacks to be that. It doesn't matter what it was, because its use has changed. If she doesn't meet her setback, the planning board wasn't even gonna see her, she wasn't even in R3. It didn't matter what pre-existed, it's what she's in front of you for now.
Okay.
And now, currently, changing its use, in 11640, the entire section of special use permits, they had to make sure first that she was on the actual, like, residential zone that she was in, and that she met all those setbacks. But she didn't meet that one corner. So they said, you have to go to the zoning board while you're in front of us. And we don't want conditions, so you'll finish up with them, and then you'll be back for their meeting in June.
Okay, well, I don't have a plot map that gives dimensions.
No.
It was all with the, I don't know, months ago, this is all came here, and it was 4 feet. That corner to the north.
This,
The corner to the
Yeah,
north
there's no
state
dimensions.
land
Right there.
is 4 feet.
Oh,
That's
4
her
foot, oh,
only
okay,
area.
oh,
That's
thank
her
you.
only application.
That's why in the building trades. And what is the required setback?
yeah, I don't understand that whole thing.
Well, you have that structure, 10 feet structure rule. And
So-
which you said, mentioned last time, everything has to, you can't have a structure within 10 feet of your property line. Or
Okay.
you have to be buried.
Okay, so she's asking for a variance of 6 feet.
Asking for that one corner. It's all
Okay.
laid out, yeah. Everything else the planning board could approve as is, like the change of the use, the septic was there. Everything was there except for that one side of the house. It was too close to the property line, and they can't approve that into a new changeover without you guys giving a variance for it.
So we would be willing to entertain a variance of 6 feet on that one. Do you understand what they're
Yes.
talking about?
She's been doing it.
You guys down with that?
I don't understand, but,
Because of the change of use,
Yeah, yeah.
that, I
Or you
guess
don't
Scott
have
just.
to do anything, but that's why she's here, because the planning board sent her.
Well, let's make her journey through this
Yeah.
easier, and if
Let's
we
do-
can,
Yeah.
okay, so I make a motion that we allow a 6-foot variance on the north, 4, no, it was 10 feet.
No, the
No,
rule
no,
is
she
that
required
they only
10
have 2
feet.
feet there now.
Yeah, I think the planning board.
She has 4 feet now, she needs
Yeah.
10 feet, so it's a 6-foot variance.
Right.
So I make a motion that we allow a 6-foot variance on the north side of the property to allow grandfather in the existing structure. May I have a second?
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Wait, there's discussion first.
Oh,
Any
right.
discussion?
Sorry.
No, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion so granted as presented. So you have your variance, as long as you don't build out over the existing
Right,
footprint.
understood, thank you.
Okay, now, as to whether or not you need to be in front of the planning board, I don't know, you'll have to work that out with the planning
said
board.
yes,
These are two
yeah.
separate
Yeah, they
boards.
still have their public hearing for the special use.
Yeah, I've already appeared before the planning board 3 times, but the final time,
It's all timing.
You should be all right now.
The
final time will be for a public hearing on June 8th.
I believe you have everything you need from us. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
Okay, we've passed the resolution.
thank you,
You're legal,
thank
as
you.
far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Next one
public
is a
hearing
sign.
is a sign. So, may I have a motion to open the public hearing to hear APCR LLC?
Make a motion to open the hearing for
Public hearing for APCR LLC. I second that motion. All in favor? Aye. Okay, let's open the public hearing for the signage, APCR
Sarah, you're up.
LLC.
Well, I didn't know if you want public comment first, or me, or what do you want? Me or them?
Well, first of all, let's lay out the issue. It's a sign that is going to be in front of the new structure that is, let's see,
Well, I can talk about it. how about I just tell you one?
It's
So,
across from the Emerson, give us the address.
yeah, 2018, they did a site plan review for this commercial property with the planning board. And in that process, and their checklist is signs, is number 15. And in that signage, they have to define the height, the size, the location, and all that stuff. And then the owner, after approval, the owner came to me when I was the code enforcer to get a 48 square foot sign. And I said, it's outside of the zoning district. CDL, cluster development, is the only place that you can have a larger sign than 24 square feet on your building.
Right?
So they showed us at the time that that the location of the sign is off the building. And they showed us at the time in that site plan where the sign was located, that had been approved. So
Approved by whom?
the planning board, it's number 15 in their checklist. And they have it literally in the application, sign, check. And they admitted with the last month's meeting, we sent them a letter, that at that time, they didn't know the size or the look of the sign. Now, when they see applicants, they kind of go thoroughly through that more. But at that time, they okayed the position. And rightfully so, outside of the size that's allowable, they would have probably referred it for a variance. So that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Technically, commercial property can have 24 square feet. But this person was approved for 3 commercial properties and 2 luxury apartments. And they want 48 square feet.
3 commercial properties in one building?
Yeah.
It's all in one building.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah,
It's across from the
but
Emerson.
that's highway business.
Yes. Which highway, business, residential, all of them have the same square footage of allowable signs on them.
No, a highway business, the square footage is attached to the building and 24 square feet attached to the building.
Yes. So the planning board approved the sign's location off of the building. And it says on the site plan that's signed by the planning board and approved in that resolution in 2018. So the sign where it's sitting now isn't for question because it's been approved.
That's approved in 2018?
Yes. Project's taken a while.
like 5 years
It's like
ago.
one contractor.
But is it, so the location is approved, but not the square
It's not
footage
size,
of the
which,
sign?
If we go, you just knowing the rules, they would have sent them for a variance outside of what's allowable. Like, the planning board's never gonna say that the sign's approved, even though it's bigger than what that zone allows.
Okay.
So they would have sent that, they didn't, it just was not even an oversight, I don't wanna say that about them, but it didn't happen. So, the applicant now is ready to put up a sign, he has a business already in place, and local business, and long-term apartments, and it's, I have the argument is, there's 3 commercial properties, and technically, each one gets 24 square foot. And so, only to ask for 48 is, I think, kind of a fair shake. And then when I was the code enforcer, I did call the DOT for that mile marker, because it's there right away.
Right.
And they okayed 55 feet for that sign. So it's gonna be 55 feet off the center line, and its location has been approved on the site plan. Its square footage of the signage is what they're asking the variance for. And just to know the topography is, it's a ditch down. So this sign is already, I know there was a discrepancy last time I was here, 13 feet post or 16, but obviously 3 feet of that's in the ground, or whatever the building inspector calls for, 2 feet, 4 feet. So most of that post has to, 3 feet at least have to go underground. So the sign sits 3 feet off the road and down 55 feet the center. So its height doesn't maybe seem as extreme. So that's the gist. The dimensions were given, I can show you them again.
Yep.
But there's 3 commercial properties, each with like 4 square foot of signage practically. And then there are luxury apartments that are long-term rentals that house local people. And then by law, they're
Okay.
annexed. And the lighting is downward lighting, dark sky compliant. But I'll just let you have a public hearing, but that's the gist of the project.
Wait, Sarah, before you leave,
Yeah.
when you presented this, you said there was going to be no lighting on the sign
I
at all.
look back though, in this light, this is the light that goes underneath. So if this post is the top, the light's under, downward,
Okay.
facing.
But you're saying this part here is just buried in a
Yeah, I
swale?
have to do their footings,
Well, yeah, I know, what's exposed? But what's from the soil up?
about 13 feet, depending on what the building code calls for. It could be 4 feet up here for frost line. Just whatever the building enforcer, she might say 2 feet.
No, it doesn't matter what's below, what's gonna be
The
installed?
post is 16 feet tall, but the sign's what I'm here for,
Right,
48 square
right.
feet. Nothing to do with the post. This is 48 square feet, not 24.
Okay, so you got approval for removing it off the side of the building, you got approval from the DOT to put it alongside the road, they're far enough off. Should we hear the public hearing? Is there any public comment? Please, step up.
So I am the one business that's in that little plaza now.
And which business?
Phoenicia Soap Company LLC, it's
Oh.
a makerspace, and we've had, a lot of people slowing down in that area to look for what might be in there, because I have a sign on the glass. Yeah, I think it'd be safer to have just clear signage from the road that's comparable to other signs in the area, and certainly some sign is needed. So I hope you'll consider the variance. Local business, been doing this since 2015, this is my first storefront, sure would be helpful.
Understood. Well, our job here is not to discourage or impugn on any business activity, but rather to encourage and inform and empower business activity. But, first of all, any questions for this young lady?
No, good luck with your business. I think that's a step in the right direction. It's a nice storefront, and I understand that you make soap, and it's,
And I'm competing against the giant cougars.
yeah, I think that's wonderful, and good luck with that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I don't have any problem with the signage on the road removed from the building. I have a problem with the height and with the width. And my problem specifically is that, as you well know, economic opportunity in this area is extremely limited. It's, the majority of the land is either Casco State Park or Forever Wild or the New York City watershed. And one of the very few economic resources we have here is our easy access to wilderness, okay? And part of that easy access to wilderness is the view shed. People driving around and looking at stuff. And the problem with these signs, and the problem with there's regulations about signage in the first place, is it so that signage doesn't impugn on the view shed. That's why there's not a lot of bulletin boards up and down Route 28, and the only bulletin boards are on private land. So my problem is that this signage is just too big. I agree, there should be signage alongside the road so they can identify your business and acknowledge that there's business there that they want to stop in with. I don't see any reason it has to be 16 feet high. I think it's just too big.
It's not 16 feet. The post is 16, it could go 4 feet in the ground, and then you're left with what's left over. The post comes in at 16 feet. You gotta go 4 feet down for cross line or whatever the code say, they have to bury half that.
Sarah, can you tell us exactly how high
Yeah,
the
it should
posts are
be
gonna be?
13 feet.
Just give us a number.
I would say 3 feet if I was the building inspector upstairs. But your job is not building inspection, rightfully so. Your
Right.
job is to look at the variance, and I understand your point, and I can work with that. But you don't know what the building inspector is going to ask for to be buried. And I'm not here to ask about posts, I'm asking about the signage.
We
I'm
also-
asking for 48 square feet in the sign. So if you want it on one post,
No, we want a lower sign.
okay. Now, please remember, I'm putting 3 feet in the ground, and I'm 3 feet down off the road. 55 Center, the DOT made that hard on purpose. I talked to them because you know what's across the street to Catamounts. Have you seen those animals? Have you seen Naomi signage? Who also was notified and has no comment because
Okay.
they've been through it. They know how hard it is to advertise business. And all along, actually, 28. I know that we don't have the big billboards, but you look out, I look at these signages and very few are 24 square feet. I don't know how you can advertise 3 businesses with 24 square feet.
We're not asking you to. We're
But
asking you
what
to
I'm
lower.
saying is, so I'll go 3 feet under, then I have 13 feet of sign, and I drop 3 feet off the road. So you're talking about a post that reads 10 feet when you're driving. If that makes you feel more comfortable. Or maybe they could bury it 4 feet. I mean, I would do 4 feet on footings, but it's not holding any weight like deck.
Do all our members agree that 16 feet,
It's
if that
not
was in
16
fact,
feet,
would be too high?
But
Yeah,
I'm
but-
telling you, it's not 16 feet. The
But-
post
Okay.
comes in at that
That's-
size to go underground.
That's why I'm asking you exactly how
She said
high
13.
from the ground
I said
level,
13, but I'll
from
even
grass
say,
to height.
I'll make him bury it 4 feet. He will.
But she doesn't really know,
Yeah.
because she's not.
Well,
I'm not the
no,
building
we had
inspector.
plans that said,
I know what the region calls for, but I don't know what this girl knows.
Right.
we,
To my knowledge, nothing.
The last plans that we had last meeting said 13 feet.
Because he was burying it 3 feet.
Yeah,
And
so
I talked
that's,
to him about that, he said, I'll do 4, whatever the building
Yeah, yeah,
inspector
yeah.
calls for, I'll put underground, the post comes in at 16 feet. That's, to me though, if that makes or breaks feelings on it, I don't wanna split hairs, I'll tell him to bury it 6 feet, and only
I-
go 6 foot.
I think the issue with the board is the 48 square feet, because
Oh, I thought it was,
commercial light industry says you can have a sign either fixed to the building 48 square feet,
yes.
or unattached to the building, which is 48 square feet, and also a height variance of 15 feet.
But this is not commercial light industry,
No,
it's
this is-
Hamlet business,
this is-
HP, is
Hamlet
it?
business.
That's
Commercial
Hamlet
light
business.
Highway business.
Highway
Yeah,
business.
highway business is not that. Commercial light industry was designed, highway business was designed to like counteract factories.
Yeah, right, right. Well, I don't even have a problem with 48 square feet. I have a problem with the
The height.
interruption of the view shed, and that's the height. So
Okay.
can we pass a resolution saying that the maximum height over
Yeah.
highway level is,
But you-
what's the
I
standard?
mean, there's gonna be you can do that, yeah, but there'll be discrepancy, because I'm telling you it's 3 feet down the ditch. But that's what I'm telling you. What
Okay.
if it's 4?
Okay, so you
You
can't
know.
give us the actual accurate information
Yeah,
as
I think
where-
what she's saying is that the highway is here,
I
the
just-
property goes down in a swell and
It's
then
in a
levels
swell,
out.
the
So,
side's in a
so no
swell.
matter how high the sign is, it's gonna lose 3 feet
You're
of,
losing 3 feet.
Understood.
if
Understood.
you're in a car driving by, it's
But
gonna
even
be
if
3
you're not
feet
losing
low.
3 feet on the rider side, none of those signs go down the ditch.
No,
All
no,
of
they're
them
all
are up.
level with the road.
Everything on that side ditches down.
Mhm.
And so, okay, it's a 16-foot post that I'll give you 4 feet in. That's
That
what I'm
brings it
doing
up
for
to
a deck
12
or a
12
house
feet.
footing.
So
So
that's
4 feet down, then we're left with 12 feet,
14 feet.
14, and at 16, then I'm going down 4. So at
Okay,
12 feet
16, so it's
is 12 foot. I think that's, I mean, that door's 6 foot
Do we
tall.
live with a 12-foot sign? That's 4 feet, that's,
And then you're 3 feet lower on the road. I think that that's more than reasonable. I think it's almost like, yeah, think about, that's,
okay,
a ceiling is 8 feet.
okay, that sounds reasonable. What assurances do we have?
Well, you write it in your resolution and your code enforcer enforces it when the sign goes in. You're right that the posts have to be 4 feet
Yeah.
below grade, and that.
Or no
and
higher
then
than
you're
12
accepting
feet.
48 square feet.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
No,
don't tell
no
everyone
higher
15.
than 12 feet above grade.
And there you go.
Above grade, then,
Yeah. Cover it on both ends, 4 feet lower, no higher than 12 feet.
yeah.
Okay.
Even if you gave them 13 feet, I mean, that's only a foot, you know, if they're down in the thing, I mean.
And no restriction on the width. So if you need more,
I mean, I'm here for variance on the signage. I don't, we're getting into something different.
yeah,
If you
well,
want a restriction.
we're discussing it.
Yeah, if you
so,
want a
Yeah.
restriction.
Yeah.
It's 8
Oh.
foot wide and 8 foot.
8 feet wide, yeah. This is a big sign.
These are, this is what makes it wide, like the actual sign, the post sit in the center.
Yeah, the posts don't make,
Understood,
they don't go out.
understood, right.
the sign is 8 feet long. They will.
Yeah. Okay, so if we pass a resolution saying that the posts have to be buried so the 16-foot posts have to be buried 4 feet in the ground,
Wow.
and that the height of the sign above where it's
Grade.
mounted
Grade.
cannot
I
be,
think we should just be worried about from the ground level to the height.
Right.
Whatever,
Okay.
whatever,
12
the-
foot
whatever
above
the
grade.
the code officer says
There
has
you
to
go.
be in the ground, is gonna be in the
Yeah.
ground.
Exactly. If
Okay,
you say
and
no
it-
higher than 12 foot above grade.
and it's
then
in a
they'll
swale
drop
anyway, so,
off. Yeah, it's a drop
okay.
off, because I've had to go in there a lot. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, you gotta go down.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've been
I
in
mean,
there.
even if this isn't an extreme intrusion that you can't see the mountains behind it, there's
You
a
can't
precedent.
even, no, it's in front of the building.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
it's in
understand,
front
but
of
it's,
the-
I'm explaining,
yeah.
it's a precedent. We don't want billboards all up and down Route 28,
It's not
neither do
over.
you.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so, I present a resolution saying that the posts can be 16 feet, but they have to be buried. That
Just
the,
pull 12 foot above
the
grade.
top of the sign is limited to 12 foot above grade. May I have a second?
I second it.
Yeah, and you also,
Gary said.
and it's also, that's just the posts. So you also gotta, in that resolution, you have to come up with how many square feet the sign's gotta be. So 48 square feet is what's presented. You have to do that as part of the resolution.
Yeah, because that's what I'm applying towards.
Yeah, it's
48
actually the
square foot sign.
signage, not the posts, is
Your law
actually
is
really.
all about 24 square feet. So I'm applying for 48 square feet, so you have to say in the resolution, so it never is discrepancy.
Well, how many square feet would that
It's
calculate out to?
27.06 feet beside us, which we presented last month.
Yeah, each board is gonna be 16
4
and a
by
half
11
inches,
square feet.
16 and a half inches by 8 foot.
They're all 4 by 11, the actual stores,
Oh.
which makes 44 square feet, and the address is 3 square feet.
Okay, I question whether or not that sign needs to be that big to be effective, but,
Well,
so,
there's 3 businesses,
yeah?
so each business gets 24 square feet, so multiply that by 3, I could be asking for
Yeah,
that.
but that's supposed to be attached to the
I
building.
know, but what, I mean, anybody can apply for a variance for anything.
Well, anybody could ask for anything too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not arguing that
Yeah,
fact.
I think that this is like, I think that the planning board could have maybe been more thorough 10 years ago, or whenever this happened, and I think that sign law is tough and tight, and there used to be a pre-existing sign there, which we're not even going to. We're looking at so many other signs that are built without your approval all the time. I
Right.
could name 10,000, like these
Right.
pool people, same with them, like people do stuff in this town constantly without spending the time in front of you.
Right.
And I truthfully, you know how hard I am.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna waste the time. Like, I truly believed in this, in the hardship in this one. Like,
So are these
3
signs,
businesses.
are these signs the size that they say here, 1 foot 4.5 by 8 foot?
They're all 4 by 11 square feet, so we would take that as,
Well,
yeah,
no,
1 by,
no,
yeah.
it can't be square feet, because if
I'll
they
show
were
you.
if it was 12 inches by 8 feet, that would be 8 square feet.
So we
Right,
have
it's
4 of
not.
these.
Yeah,
4 of
Right, right.
these
right.
that are 4 by 11.
Why you say 411?
Yeah.
What do you mean
4
by
feet.
11?
4 feet long by 11 feet wide? I mean, 11
No,
inches
11
wide?
inches
11 inches
What?
high.
and 4 feet wide.
Four
That's
That's
all
not
they
what it
are?
says here.
I don't
That
have
says 8 feet, the one I
8
saw.
foot.
That has nothing, that's a scale. This is what I'm proposing, is, I promise you, I'm asking by 4 by 11 for 4 signs. I promise.
4 foot by 11.
11 inches.
Yeah,
4 foot
11.
wide
Uh-huh.
by 11 inches
Yes,
high.
4 of
But
those.
that's consistent with what I've.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not at all what this drawing
Yeah, yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It shows 8 foot by 1 foot 4.5.
It was originally proposed at 16 and a half
I
inches
mean,
wide
and there's
and
clear
8 foot
dimension
wide.
lines here.
Okay.
So
But
it's
I
a,
promise you, my question, my application,
Well, then-
everything
well-
is 4 by 11.
Well, then we should note that because this is wrong.
yeah, the application
Which
is
we talked about
wrong.
last time. That's exactly what we said last time. Christian was here and
No.
asked me to clarify. And so I'm here again in a public hearing.
That's a
by the
whole
way.
different story.
We're not even to the monthly meeting.
Yeah, bigger signs.
No, much smaller, son. We're half the size now.
Yeah,
Mark, it's 8 foot.
Yeah,
She's showing 8 foot.
Right.
She's saying it's
it's
4
4
foot.
foot, that's
4 foot wide.
Is that what you just said?
that's four
width.
boards at 4 foot by 11 inches, it's like 4 square feet, 4 square feet, 4 square feet,
Yes.
4 square feet. That's,
'Cause what these
yeah,
are,
four,
these are
4,
10
that's
square
8,
feet.
that's 16 square foot of signage.
Significantly smaller.
Significantly.
And
Yeah.
you proposed 8 foot by 16 and a half inches, which
No.
would have been,
No.
They didn't. They showed you that. but
That's what they showed.
I know, but she's saying that's not what they want.
Okay, so there's a discrepancy.
Verbatim.
Well, I mean, that's a real problem.
Yeah.
It
In that-
isn't a
in
problem,
that
that's why I'm
we
back
have
here verbatim to
information
tell
that's.
you
Sarah.
it's 4 by 11 square.
Sarah, 4 by 11 is 24 square feet.
Well, times 4
Four
is
bu-
44 square feet.
Right.
It's less because it's 11 inches wide. A foot is 12 inches, so 4 by 12 would be 4 square feet. 4, 8, 12, 16.
Yeah, their total is 16 square feet.
That's not what I think you
No.
proposed.
So,
The total sign space is as follows: 4 times 11 square feet equals 44 square feet.
But they're not 11, okay, now you're saying 11 square feet.
I'm getting confused.
okay, give us the dimensions of each of these plaques that you
They're
are.
11 square feet.
No, give us a
Give us
dimension,
Give us-
I'm telling you what I have. for-
How long are they and how wide are they?
because this is 11 square feet.
Well,
8
you're
foot
actually-
by 1 foot 4.5.
Well, you're
is
actually
11
asking
square
for.
feet.
There we go.
Okay,
Then you're
but
right.
that's what
Then
they
I'm
were
wrong.
saying.
Can I tell you I'm wrong?
Yes,
Yes.
tell us.
I'm wrong.
Huh?
He's right. I just said it right. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to.
So what is the
maybe
actual
clarify.
dimension you're asking for?
What's shown on the drawing? 8 foot by 1 foot 4.5,
16 and a half inches,
Okay,
which comes out to a little more than 10 foot.
yeah.
okay.
So it's
And
8 feet.
totally get 44 at the end of that.
Okay.
And then I have an address that's 3 square feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I don't have so
Yeah.
much of a problem with that. It's, to me, it's the height and the width. So again, each one of these is 8 feet wide,
That's correct.
Yes. That's what was proposed initially,
okay?
and 16 and a half inches. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
The
that's what
boards were
yours
gonna be
is.
8 feet long and 6 and a half,
And that's
16
what
and a
we
half
felt
inches
was
wide.
Big.
Wide.
If it was 4 foot, yeah, we would,
4 foot is not, doesn't even come out to 24 square feet.
we would have been
Okay.
done with this.
are we asking for a reduction in the width?
I think that may be something we may want to do.
Okay,
To,
so what are you asking for to be?
No, what are you asking for?
I'm asking for what I'm talking about, this, the exact dimensions he wrote out.
8 feet
If
by
it's too
11,
big for you,
By
Right.
11
then
inches
I
high,
have to come back.
1 foot 4 and a half.
high.
Yeah, look, it says it right here.
I couldn't even read that.
I know, I don't have to
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we at? Are we willing to allow the width?
Yeah, if it was
But
8 foot,
restrict height.
if it was 8 foot by even 1 foot, that would be 36 square feet of signage, so.
So we're asking her to reduce it from 1 foot 4.5 inches to,
I mean, I don't see the significance. I don't know, 16 and a half inch board.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't think the height is a problem,
No.
it's just, I mean, it was the overall square, and I don't mean the square footage, it's the overall impact of an 8-foot sign, that I thought was kind of big for that space.
can be kind of intrusive into the use shed. It's not that we don't want to see an adequate representation of your business, we're just trying to preserve the,
I'm not clear, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk, I'm not clear of what it would be obstructing, and I think it's safer for drivers to see something clearly than it is for them to have to, rubberneck and, look a few times.
totally agreed, it doesn't need to be this big to be seen clearly, is our point.
I disagree with it.
Well,
I mean, I look at Phoenicia Plaza and what the size of those signs are.
That's a very big space though, too, and I think your space, and I don't mean you, but the space that building is built on is much smaller. I mean, Phoenicia Plaza and Emerson is a very large parcel, which they're kind of like scaled to that. Whereas your sign here is as big as those in a much smaller,
It's not quite as big as those.
well, not quite, but pretty close. I was looking at Phoenicia Plaza the other
And
day.
that sign at Phoenicia Plaza is, it's visible, but it's not screaming at you like the
Right.
giant cougars across the street from you.
you feel a giant cougar is screaming at you?
They're pretty darn big.
They're pretty big. All that signage was, we assume, got the appropriate variances and so on from another board, that is irrelevant.
Well, that used to be the Mount Pleasant Lodge that was here forever.
Yeah, I mean, that was, and some of that was, like the strip mall was grandfathered in, that's irrelevant to this issue. We're trying to move ahead, not move behind. So, what do you guys think? You want to restrict the width of this signage to make it a little smaller? I'm happy with restricting the height.
Yeah, me too, just the height,
And it's 8 feet wide?
yeah.
That's not bad.
No, that's not, when you actually
Yeah.
think
It's
somebody's
not
6 foot,
Yeah,
2
it's
foot
not
higher, I mean, it's.
6
what-
feet, 8
it's not
feet, it's
this
not
way, it's this way.
Yeah, it's in front of the
And
building.
out on 28, 8 feet looks like
Not-
a postage stamp.
Yeah,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
3 feet down.
at 85 miles an hour.
Where do you get the notion that it says 3 businesses, but it's only one building?
Yeah, I
Then
just think it's a
three-
point to make, I guess,
Oh.
that 3 businesses would all have a sign, because they're
Yeah.
separate businesses.
I couldn't find that anywhere in the coding book, but of course the coding
Well,
book is written.
your commercial space can have a sign, so all 3 of them could apply for a 24 square sign that would say on their building,
Okay.
and/or this out there being approved by the planning board. I'm going off of, trust me, when he came in with this, I said, I'm not allowed to give you a sign permit for this.
Right.
Not allowed.
Well,
Right.
even the planning board, they don't give sign permits out. It's just on their site plan
Checklist,
review
yeah.
thing,
But their
it's just got a
checklist is
box
pretty
that
thorough.
checks if you're gonna have signage or not.
No, it says location, design, material, everything. And I went to them and I said, I begged them, don't do this to me ever again. That's 3 code enforcers later. You've
Yeah.
approved something and he's
Right.
trying to get a permit that I cannot get unless there's a variance.
Well, at the last planning board meeting last week, they said that it's up to us.
Yes,
The
I was
zoning
there. I didn't know you were
appeals
gonna ask them that, but yes, I was there.
But that
I wanted
planning-
clarification.
Yeah,
of-
because they had none.
And they still haven't shown me.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do have
Do you have it?
something from the, yes,
Oh,
something
good.
to read from the
Can
planning
we see
board.
that?
Yes, you sure can. You can certainly read it. short
Go
and
ahead, read
sweet.
it aloud.
During the regular monthly meeting of the planning board, the letter from the ZBA was read and discussed. After review of the letter, the planning states that they approve the location of the sign
Okay,
and that the size that APCR LLC is requesting requires a variance, which is currently before the ZBA.
the initial planning board, determination was 2018?
Yeah.
Okay,
5 or 6
those guys
years
are
ago.
long.
No, they're all there. It's the same board. The only
It is?
Scout and Vinny are the only ones.
Okay.
But that being said, now you can't get a sign through a special use permit without going, even county wants to see them now. Like, moving forward, you really have to do a lot more now, planning boards. You can't just
Yeah.
say sign is here. They have to see a lot more materials, but then again, sometimes people aren't ready yet for that phase. But in the last year and a half that I've been with them, everyone has full signage materials, photos in their packets. So hopefully it gets cleared up down the road, you know?
So if we pass a resolution that makes this sign possible, then we need approval from the county?
No. I think it's already, the county,
I talked to DOT and they approved the
yeah,
location.
the DOT
That's it.
approved
Then right
the
away.
location.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not the county.
And I think the county planning board reviewed the site plan and
They
everything.
did. They
Okay.
did do a site plan, on their site plan they did back then. I
Okay.
don't know, that's for your call.
Just as a point of reference, is there any colors involved? Do you know what the colors are?
This is what I have. Red.
Is it painted
That's what
red
the
or is it
building
just
is,
wood?
right? The
wood?
building is red?
It's gray.
Gray?
Building's gray.
The other building they own is red.
I'm colorblind.
No, the other one is red, you're right. The one behind it is red.
It is, right.
Yeah. Okay, so see, all these issues be resolved if we pass a resolution limiting the height of the signage to 12 feet above grade.
Right,
Not mentioning anything about width.
right.
Yeah, okay.
You done with that? Okay. So I propose a resolution limiting the height of the sign to 12 feet above grade. May I have a second?
I second that.
A second. Any further discussion? No? Okay, may we have a vote? All in favor?
Aye,
All opposed? Okay, so passed.
passed.
So, you got
You
the
your
width, you got
40-something square foot sign.
your width, you got your square footage, you're
Just the
limited to the height.
restriction.
I think we can do the 48 square
Yeah.
Yeah.
feet. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, Sarah.
thanks, folks. Okay, that wasn't too difficult. Okay, the next issue is McCausland Gustafson. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for the McCausland Gustafson hearing?
I second it. Make a
Motion to open the Carol McLaughlin issue, Gustafson.
Okay, and Gary seconds? Okay, so public hearing open. So it's the issue, are the people present? Yeah, come on up and talk to us.
I'm kind of afraid after that. A little hesitant after all that.
We're trying to get things right here. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
no, I mean-
information, you know, we're acting on behalf of the benefit of the community, not on behalf of us.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let
I'm
me,
Kurt McCausland, and I'm trying to get a variance for our property in Mount Tremper, to get variances for two different areas that Sarah taught us, I guess about a month and a half ago, that were off on the side yard, which is owned by my sister and brother-in-law. That's a difference, I guess we're incorrect by 8.89 inches, excuse me, 8.89 feet.
feet.
And the rear yard is the commercial, my property is divided into two different lots, the first being residential, and the one closest to 28 is commercial. And we own both lots, but I guess there's a variant, you have to have a variance for that, which I don't really understand because we own them. But, it's in the highway business, of course. Sarah let us know that it predates the code book, we're in the highway business, and it's an undersized lot. All I want is a lap pool, it's 15 feet by 50 feet. And I'll have it all fenced in and safe. And that's pretty much it, I didn't know what else I needed to add.
Well, I don't think any of us have a problem with the side variances. I mean, it's buried right in the middle of the lot. If this pool was built 2 feet on the property line of somebody else's property, there's no way we could support that. But it's, you're the neighbor, so impugning. But the other issue is the crowding of the lot that it's on. And there is in fact in the regs how much density you can put in one lot, and I think you're exceeding that here. So that would need a variance. The question came up, if you own, and the lot next door to it is basically empty. The other lot you own?
Oh, yes, the commercial lot, yes.
Why would,
They're both highway business.
yeah.
Both lots are deemed highway business.
So why would you not put the pool on your lot next door? Would you have a lot more room?
I would, but I mean, to me, you own a house, you wanna come right out to the pool. I mean, I have dogs, so I have a kennel area, and then the pool, I have to, I said this a month ago, and I'm sorry, two of you were not here.
Yeah,
But,
sorry about that.
No, I have to physically be standing, it's electrical, and it's, oh my God, this is so like modern compared to what I'm used to with pools, that they will literally, I don't have an iPhone because we can't have one here on 28, but it will literally go to my Wi-Fi and say, oh, your pH balance is off.
Oh.
And I'm like, really? And it'll
Yeah.
tell you how much to go add. That's one thing, but everything's so technological. But secondly, I bought a really good cover that I expressed a month ago, that I need to be standing where electricity is, right where my garage is, and, you know, you have to be able to physically see it to close it for safety purposes.
Where are you saying that you think it should be? Back here?
Yes. Well, this is just a suggestion. I was
Right.
thinking,
You also only have 6 feet from the pool to the other
the
structure,
shed.
and also 6 feet to the kennel.
Yes, and that's if I don't, I mean, I talked to Swim King just today, because I want to make sure, and they've come out and looked at the space and did their thing. I mean, they haven't dug or anything like that, but
Okay.
I was thinking I could move the kennel over. Now that, we have to keep an eye on a new septic system we just had put in. So I was thinking about moving it over, because you informed me that you must have 10 feet on each side, and I never knew that.
Setback,
For a pool.
yeah.
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 So that's,
Structure, pool is a structure.
right, that's a safety feature.
Yeah.
And you're actually required to have a fence, which you said you're gonna do out of privacy, if nothing else.
Yes.
That doesn't leave a lot of room for a fence. The kennel, is that just for your personal use, or is that a commercial kennel? Are you boarding other people's
Oh, no,
dogs?
no, just my own dog, 4 dogs,
Okay.
just my own.
That's attached to the house.
The fencing is,
Yeah.
It's just a fence.
It's just a fence.
just a
Yeah.
chain link fence.
That's all it is, it's just a chain link fence.
We call it kennel, because open up 2 of my sliding glass doors, and the dogs could go in or out. That's it.
Oh, okay.
But
Where would the fence go? In between the 6 foot on either side?
the new fencing,
The new fence for the pool?
yeah, well, if we do end up moving the pool over, then I would literally take down all the chain link and get PVC, so it's protected and private. So whatever dimensions it needs to be moved over, I would do. The shed could be moved, and the fencing can be moved. But as far as the area, the backyard, which is way towards, right across the street, of course, from
Right.
Emerson,
Right.
there's land out there. I mean, it's a small lot. My parents owned it since 1984, but it's, what do I say? I drive the tractor back there, keep it clean and nice, and it's trees and just land. So to me, if I have to put the pool way out there, it's sort of ridiculous, because
Okay,
to go
yeah.
all the way out there, and I gotta get close to the electricity.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. But, you know, the sad part about the whole thing is that if the pool was out there and you had the proper setbacks, that all you had to do was get a permit, and you wouldn't need a variance from the zoning board of appeals. You would just get a permit, and you would have had your pool, they would be digging today, or digging last week or a month ago.
Well, they're so busy that they can't get to me. Yeah, I understand
Yeah,
what
everybody,
you're saying.
everybody's like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with giving a variance as she is asking for. A couple issues about density is, for one thing, if it's over choked density, then that impedes the action of any first responders. So for example, fire suppression, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, is that an issue?
No, not at all. Because whenever I do get to, I guess Swim King legally, once they, dig and get a pool put in, they put temporary fencing, I don't know what it really is, to be honest, but it's
Yeah.
temporary fencing as they leave for their own liability. of
Oh,
course.
right.
And I've already been in touch with our fence guy who's going to take down the chain link and have it all nice, secure, but yes, access, availability, I have to have that. So Art Christie knows, he was instrumental when we had my parents' house knocked down 10 years ago and this modular put up. So my house and my garage are separate from each other. Because of the setback way back then as well. Art said to us, yeah, you could just combine them someday, put a, whatever, add space in between. But now at this point, I think your point is great. Yeah, you have to have access should anything happen. So.
Yeah. And also the pool, you said it was a lap pool? So it's one of those pools that water's forced through, so you're swimming against current?
No, I don't. I thought about that, but no, it's 15 feet on the diagrams I gave a month ago. If I had it listed as 15 feet across by 50, no,
Right.
I had it listed as 60, but it's 50 feet in length,
15
15
by
feet
50,
across.
yeah.
And it's a lap pool in the fact that hopefully it's in that same area, you come out of the garage or out of the side yard, and into the pool, there's steps. And then once you're in the pool, you kind of move over, and this is the space where I would, swim with the snorkel, down and back as a lap pool. So there's really like two people can be swimming at one time.
Right.
Where the other area is just like steps that people can just enjoy.
There's really two swimming lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a typical lap pool.
Okay. Well, if she did not, in fact, own the next door property, I would say that 2 feet up in the property line is a deal breaker, but since she owns the other sides of the property, I'm okay with approving the variance as
I'm
is.
okay with it.
Okay. So I propose a resolution allowing a 15 by 50 foot pool, approving the variance of the setbacks on the one side, and approving the 2 foot setback on the rear property. May I have a second?
I second it.
Gary seconds. Any further discussion? You guys comfortable?
No, this pool though is gonna be moved over a little bit,
Yes, that's what I was talking to Swim King about.
so you're gonna
today.
have a 10-foot setback from the shed.
Yes,
Okay.
but at this point, where he has it right now is 18 feet away from the shed. And that's not what we originally said.
No, he's showing 6 feet.
Seven, yeah,
Showing 6
Okay.
feet.
And so that would necessitate you moving the fence on the
Kennel.
kennel?
yeah, I don't want the chain link anymore anyway.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so all in favor of the resolution as presented?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, resolution so passed as presented.
Thank you so much, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank
Dig
you.
away.
Can I come over and swim?
My neighbors, my sister and brother-in-law are gonna be in it more than I am.
Okay, good luck with that. Okay, thank you, people.
So now we'll close the public hearing and open up the regular hearing.
Yeah, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second
Gary makes a motion, Hank seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, public hearing closed. Now at 10 after 7, let us convene the monthly meeting of the Shandaken Board of Appeals. May you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, people. Okay, and that is, got that in here somewhere.
It's spelled wrong on the agenda.
Oh, we're gonna do a roll call.
Oh, sorry, we need, first of all, we need a roll call.
Mark Lodi,
Here?
Gary Guglielmetti,
Here.
Alan Bella,
Here.
Christian Lynch, Henry Williams.
Here, present.
Thank you, and then we need approval of the minutes from the last meeting, which is excellently reported by Olivia. Were there any amendments to the minutes as presented? So may I have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting as presented?
Motion to accept the minutes from April 20th, 2022.
Okay, I second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, minutes so accepted from the last meeting. Okay, Sforza, is that you guys?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Sforza, resident of Mount Comfort. So I have submitted paperwork requesting a variance to extend my existing deer fence, which you guys had approved, I don't know, about 3, 4 years ago. So I'm extending it, I'd like to extend it to include a pool site, which is neighboring the house.
The pool site, you said?
It's a pool
Oh.
site.
That's what this is here? This,
Yeah, let me take a look. So, this is the pool site.
Right.
Correct.
so your existing fence is all of
This
this,
is the existing
and you're
deer
just
fence.
adding this over
And
here?
I'm adding this piece to
Right.
get around.
Oh, so I thought you were asking for a height variance.
No, it's an 8-foot fence, he's asking to add this fence.
Well,
Add
this,
the
the
deer
existing
fence.
deer fence is 8 foot.
And you already had a variance.
We have a variance
Oh,
for
okay.
that. So I'm just asking to extend the existing deer fence to include the pool site,
Okay,
so I don't have to add a second
Right.
fence.
and you're at the very end of Beaver Hill Road, correct? Is there any human habitation that has direct line of sight to your property?
None.
Okay.
It's easy.
So whatever they do, we'll,
The
we'll,
nearest neighbor is like 1,200 feet.
okay.
Who's the next one down, Steve Myron?
Steve Meyer. So Steve's below me
Right.
and Melinda is also.
Is that my
And then
rent?
the state is on the other side.
Right.
You have state land on both sides, I think? State.
Stay here, and stay here.
I don't have,
Okay.
you,
Down below is.
you have that, his,
No, I don't
yeah, I don't have it either.
Okay. Yeah. So there's actually no impact on any other residences or any other line of sight from anything else?
I don't actually have a copy.
Yeah,
I don't have a copy of that either.
and your plans.
Yeah, mine was cut off.
I don't have any copy.
I'm gonna show this.
Sure.
So there's already a fence here, that's already been approved for 8 feet, and he's asking me to extend this around the pool
Oh, I see.
What is that?
at 8 feet.
This is already,
It's twisted wire.
well, this isn't an existing fence? Yeah. He wants to
Oh,
do this
it's
around
not
the
even
pool.
visually.
It disappears.
Oh, yeah.
Even from my house, I can
Right,
see it.
oh, that's great.
Can't the deer jump
Where
8
exactly
feet?
in Mount Tremper is this?
Not yet.
Miller Road, you know the end of Miller Road,
Miller Road.
all the way up the hill there?
The Miller Road turns into Beaver
Beaver
Hill,
Hill,
right? Is that how?
Well, at Miller Road dead ends, and if you go right, which is a private road, that's Beaver Kill. And
Okay.
I'm at the end of Beaver Kill.
Okay,
There's about 5 homes on it.
yeah. So absolutely no impact from
Yeah,
anybody else in
there's
your
no
neighbors, so,
No one's ever gonna see it.
No.
Correct.
okay.
Good,
Only you.
easy.
And my wife.
Okay, and the deer. Well, you swim in the pool, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, we're doing a lap pool as well.
Oh. Has there been a problem with deer actually falling in the pool? Has that actually happened, or they come
I've
to
heard
you?
that it happens, yeah.
Yeah. No, but has that happened to you?
Not yet.
How big is that space? How big is your pool?
The pool is 16 by 75. It's also a lap pool.
So that's, how far out is this
So
going?
the site is probably 120 by 50,
Okay.
so the fence kind of goes around that.
Okay, so I propose a resolution that, do you actually have a footage length of the fence?
No,
Do we
it
even
doesn't.
need that?
No, it doesn't.
I propose a resolution that the existing pool be allowed to be fenced in to the height of 8 feet, as length as needed.
Great, thank you.
Well, wait a minute.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Go ahead.
I wanted to just also be clear on my responsibilities for a gate. So any gate access would need to be auto closed, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so we intend to do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually part of the code. You would need a fence around this pool anyway, one way or the other, so.
Correct.
And with that type of gate enclosure.
So that gate does cross the road, so that component would be an automatic. There's a sensor in the road, so it'll open when a car passes and then close, like minutes after. But then there's a human gate that will have this
Oh, okay.
spring on it, so that.
For the pool.
Well, there'll be one gate to the property, which includes the pool, right? So if we look at, I just want to be clear on my requirements. So here's the house site, so you could walk from the house right down to the pool site,
Okay.
and the gate's gonna be here. So in essence, the gate is gonna be around the entire property.
But something you need to access the whole property.
And so there'll be, this is the gate for cars, and then right next to it will be a human gate that'll auto close.
Got it.
So do I need to do anything else?
For the pool, you were
For the
saying?
gate? Yeah, for the, well, right,
No.
The code officer would do
Yeah,
that with the permit.
I don't know what,
okay.
I don't know what.
Yeah, the
there's a-
code officer
It has to
would,
be within a certain,
we're just giving you a variance
dimension
on the
of the
fence.
pool. I don't know that, but it could be, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That
no,
you
that's-
have to have a fence within a certain dimension of the pool. In other words, this may not count for the, yeah.
It might not, that might not be adequate enough for the pool, for the fencing of the pool.
Right.
But the code officer will,
Because that's the reason why I'm putting the fence here, is to kind of kill two birds with one stone.
I don't know if we can
Check
do
that.
that.
So I thought that's what I was doing now.
No, well, you're applying for a variance, but again, I mean, we're
It's
not
just for
giving,
the
we're not,
fence.
we're not talking about a variance
For the pool.
for the pool.
Safety of the pool, or
The
safety,
safety of the pool is another issue.
Okay,
So
so what do I
you-
take that for?
the code enforcement officer.
Yeah, I think when you get your permit for the pool, you have to find out what the regulation is for the fencing around the pool.
Well, actually, his insurance company's gonna make him put a 4-foot fence.
Fence around the pool, yeah.
That's their insurance law.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a
And
fence.
that's part of the regs also.
Really?
You need
So
a,
even though the entire pool is surrounded by an 8-foot?
Well, no, you have an 8-foot fence, so that you're exceeding that, but it surrounds the pool, the fence
The
surrounds the
pool is
pool.
right in the middle of this.
Is there any
Yeah.
access anywhere in the property?
No,
Yeah, so
other
that,
than this gate.
yeah, so that it's already gated in with an 8-foot fence, but
Yeah.
you have to have a minimum of a
Yeah.
4-foot fence.
Around the pool?
Yeah, when you,
But I'm not sure that that's the only,
no,
No.
you would have to have a fence of at least 4 feet.
he's just saying that a fence is
So you have
required.
an 8-foot fence.
Okay, so
you're-
this
you're good.
satisfies the
Yes.
4-foot fence requirement, you think?
Yes, that's gonna be an issue with your insurance company.
can we look at that drawing over here?
Yeah, what is this fence, the 8-foot fence made of?
Is there a copy of the sheet?
Yeah, they sent it on the computer, I looked at it.
You wanna see this?
Yeah, I just want to see, I can tell you which pool, because it has to be around the pool.
It has to be around the pool, independent, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Pool and,
Well, he needs to find that out, whether we think or not,
But it's
doesn't
not-
matter.
No, no,
He's
but
gotta
it's,
find
yeah,
that.
yeah, but the code enforcement
if it's
officer
enclosed
will
and
be
it's
explaining that to
inaccessible
them.
Right.
from the home directly and stuff, that's basically what I know of it. It's gotta be separate, so that a kid can't walk out of the back.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
So he's independent here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it's showing.
So you can walk though from the house down the road, because the
Yeah.
gate's here.
But you have to go through a gate.
To, no,
No.
the gate's here. So
There's no gate here anymore.
So if, so then I just, so I'm understanding,
Gated.
there's gonna have to be a gate here,
Yeah.
down to the pool,
Yeah.
but this suffices for the other
That
side.
would suffice for the pool, I think.
So I was
Well,
gonna-
again, you're saying I think, and every time somebody says I think, I
But
have a
we just
question.
went through this upstairs, that's why. Didn't we have somebody come up with a fence around the pool as well?
We did.
Yeah, so it was the same thing. It just has to be independent from the home.
So there's
And
no,
He has to have gating, that's all. If he gates it, and this is here, and
there's
it's
no
completely
dimensional
gated.
requirement around the, like,
There
you
was nothing
need to
that we
leave
could
5
find.
feet or, no?
Somebody wanted to put it
right,
25 feet away
insurance
from the
company.
pool.
Yeah, they got-
Uphill
you
and
can't
down.
get to the pool.
Yeah.
They can
do
do
that.
that.
They can do that as long as your
They
fence
can't
stays
walk out the
independent
house, right.
without
Okay.
home repairs.
I just don't
Sure,
know.
guest house.
So if he had a gate here,
You can't get in.
if this, where he's showing, this is the existing gate. If this stayed, and he put a gate here,
Just a single,
right,
go in, go out.
you get that?
That kid can climb
Jerry?
an 8-foot fence, he
Well,
ain't drowning.
no.
So your existing is here, right?
He's gonna swim like a
So
fish.
this part of the gate's being removed.
They'll probably do a
This part
backflip
of
off the
gate's
fence
being
into the
removed.
pool.
So it's gonna be here, here.
That's what we're saying, keep that part of the fence.
And put a gate there.
And this needs to be, this
No,
has
well,
to
the
be
problem is he's
separate.
crossing the road though too, so he has to have a removal there.
And that's a gate,
Nothing
that's
to
a
do
gate.
with safety of the pool or
So that's the gate.
Oh, okay.
So you're surrounded by an 8-foot fence, all the way here, basically. And so from the house,
I get you.
you have
What
open.
I'm saying is you're gonna have to leave this fence here. and somehow
But
gated.
he
it's
can't,
also in the
because, I mean, he
Yeah,
can, but he's got two gates
you know,
then.
deer
He's
fence
got
would
two
be,
car gates.
Either that or he's gonna have to put
nylon
another fence.
Well,
netting.
what I was thinking of doing was extending the fence here, because basically the pool's here. Extending the fence here, extending the fence here, and then putting a gate there.
Yes,
So that would-
That
legal.
works.
that would-
yes.
That works. There you go.
All right.
I think.
But you have to talk to
You have to
the
talk,
enforcement
Donna,
officer
Donna will
about
tell
that.
you.
Okay, so we're giving the variance to the
pretty
fence
sure
and the height of the fence.
Yeah, we're just doing the.
Not the pool.
Yeah, we're not doing the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah, we're not doing.
But you may have a
Donna
discussion with
takes
that with the building inspector, which we don't even have a building inspector.
And that's rigid fencing,
do.
right?
We do?
We do.
And who is it?
Twisted
Her
back.
name's Donna
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Lemoyne.
I haven't met her.
Donna
Lemoyne?
Lemoyne.
My question is, what's the
Yeah,
variance?
it's
Was the variance originally given for the?
Black,
length
it
of the
disappears,
fence?
it's great.
For the what?
He's already got a variance to have an 8-foot fence.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
He's adding more
Yeah,
fence.
adding,
Yeah,
yeah.
but was
We're
there a
just
length,
adding-
when he got that variance, was there a length on that variance?
I don't know.
That limits him, that means he has to apply. If there was no length, then he's free to do it without a variance, he can just move and put his 8-foot fence up, because he's already got a variance for an 8-foot fence.
Oh, good point. Good point. He's just extending a
Yeah,
variance he
that's
already
all he's
has.
doing, yeah.
Did-
Oh,
All
so-
I'm doing is extending the existing 8-foot fence.
Okay, so can we then say he doesn't need a variance?
If the length is not, exposed on the variance itself, if the variance was just for an 8-foot fence.
Right.
On his property, he should be good to go. If it says an 8-foot fence, 200-foot long, along the perimeter of the property, then that would be a limitation, and then you would need an extension for the length.
Jerry, can you testify to that? Do you know if they gave a length variance on it?
Do we
Probably
have
not.
the original variance, Olivia?
We do somewhere, it's on file.
Yes,
We
I'm
don't,
sure.
maybe not have it in
We
front
have
of
it
us.
yet. Offhand, it was.
Well, why don't we just give him a variance anyway, and this way it's done.
Let's take the variance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this way
yeah,
his
yeah,
issue
yeah.
is complete.
Yeah, this has been thoroughly discussed. I mean, there's no impact on any neighbors.
Right.
The only impact is on the deer. You're doing the right thing in terms of safety. You're gonna probably have a discussion about gate enclosures with the
Insurance company and
the
the
insurance
code
company and the
officer.
code officer, which I guess we have. So I propose a variance that allows the addition of a fence of 8-foot height around the pool.
Right,
May I have a
Yeah, as
second?
requested by applicant.
okay.
Variance as requested.
I second that.
Gary seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, variance so granted.
Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Enjoy your pool.
Thank you.
Does it get a little cold up there?
We have wetsuits.
Really?
To extend the season into November, so we.
And
plan
pool
on-
heaters.
We plan on, well, the pool heaters, I don't use the wetsuits, this is less expensive.
All right. Well, keep swimming. It'll keep you
That'll
healthy.
that'll keep you afloat too.
That's true.
All right.
So do I need to do anything else?
Not on ours.
Just for your pool, but that's
Yeah,
not
no.
us.
Right, not with you guys. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
That going almost got complicated.
Do we have to get this
Everything's getting complicated.
ourselves?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know that. Do we need a notarization?
Oh, yeah, so I need those back, and I'll bring them to Joyce.
Oh, you'll have them.
Yes, I'll hand them to Joyce, and she'll take care of it. I also did have this one note from, I don't know, I believe Grace sent it, emailed it to everyone, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I saw this
Okay.
before, and I guess nobody came, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look
Did
like
everybody
it.
see the chicken issue coming
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
I read
roost?
it. I read
Yeah, I
it
saw
three or
that.
four
I saw
times.
the
Coming
email.
back to roost. How about
I
that?
saw the email on that. Why is that coming back?
It's coming back to roost.
Yeah, I got a question about this. The book, yeah, the $600. Can I take insurance out on that? Yeah, you should thank sure.
What was this one,
got
Joey,
insurance?
Jerry Gallo?
Did you read this?
That was in the
Yeah.
file.
Oh, I didn't read it.
That's one of the ones I missed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Did you miss that?
that's what they cost. But where do you open that book? That book seems a little complicated the way it's written. It's not the same as the other.
Yeah, he was, he had a lot of that.
Yeah, let me find it.
I already signed mine. Signed
So
my
is it, nobody needs to see the,
I saw that. I read it about 4 or 5 times.
so they may come
The
back,
chickens, right, yeah, right, but we already
did it.
made a decision on that.
So it's up to
Yeah.
us to decide whether we
We
want to do it.
defined,
We made a decision based on the information in front of us.
If
The
they have
other
new
complaint
information.
didn't show up.
No.
So we thought we'd say if they wanted to present new information, we'd reconsider.
Yeah, the thing is, the chickens were there since I was a kid. My grandfather used to buy meat, I used to drive up in the 41 Jeep with my grandfather.
Yeah.
The chickens were there, and Well, you know what they're saying, that it wasn't. The chicken, why did they buy the house?
That's true.
Why'd they buy the house?
Yeah.
Duh.
You know, it's like,
Chickens here.
it's like somebody buying a condo by an airport that they just built, and now they want the airport shut down because it's dangerous to the children.
Well, the complaint is it's attracting wildlife. But, you know, they're in the middle of the Catskill State Forest.
Apparently they're
Your garbage attracts water.
Yeah. That just happened to me the other day. I had a bear
That's what
attack.
the
Probably taking a chance, put the
homeowner
garbage
expressed to
out, you don't fool there.
The dog thing, I
The
mean,
garbage anyway, so I would do the chicken out.
All right.
Yeah, hawks,
So,
eagles.
so what I said concerning the complaints about the chicken was if they want to come and give testimony, we're happy to entertain any new information, but we've already ruled on the information that was given to us.
of course.
So that's, you guys comfortable with that?
Yeah, I'm
If they want to come and give us,
Yeah.
you know, I can't see changing the ruling, but,
No.
but if somebody wants to come and give information, we need to hear that
So
information.
say she contacts me in the office and says that I was unable to make the meeting, but I'd love to come to the next one, she's able to do so to speak at the end.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
All right, so no further business in front of
Is
this.
there any, is there any,
Are you guys reading this right? The email from Grace about the chickens?
That's what we were just
Yeah.
discussing.
Because she's saying what happened, what occurred is you guys gave an appeal, an okay for an appeal to violation. You actually didn't give the variance to have the chickens.
No, I think we did.
we did give the variance. What we did was rule on,
They were pre-existing, the
yes.
chickens were there for,
That they didn't need a
Yes.
variance because they were pre-existing
We did
before the
not give a
code
variance
came
for the
in.
last,
And we had testimony to
60
that
years.
fact that included actual film
I think
footage.
that's what she was saying there, is that she felt the need of.
yeah, but
Yeah,
this- the chickens, we said the chickens were there for the last 60 years. I mean, the chickens have always been there.
well, the code officer issued a violation and the chickens were removed. And then they came before the zoning board of appeals to state the fact that the chickens, they've had them continuously since 1945 or prior to the code. And they presented evidence, so there was no, we didn't rule on any variance or anything. So,
Yeah, it's-
and there was no public hearing scheduled based on that.
Yep, that's the way I read it. File has been on the property since 1974. We received testimony to that
Why
effect.
would you have to notify the abutters if there was no variance given? That's what she's talking about. She's talking about the abutters never had a chance to comment or something?
Well,
No,
there
they
was
had a
never
chance to
public
comment, they
hearing.
just never showed up. There was a public
No,
hearing.
no. That wasn't a public hearing, that was, Howie, they
It's
appealed.
important to note that because this was not an application for a variance, but instead an appeal, no public hearing was ever set and the abutters were not notified.
That's
Advisor
right, I don't think there
complained,
was.
reached to me that since the appeal was granted by the ZBA, the best bet was to attend the minor meeting is not the ongoing concerns regarding the chicken. I don't know if that's, it sounds like the heights.
Okay, it may not, it may,
Okay, the neighbors complained that they didn't have the right, or they didn't have the time to complain during a public hearing, but a public hearing wasn't necessary.
Right.
Gotcha.
okay.
Sorry.
So we're still not holding a public hearing, we're inviting them to give more testimony.
If they have any testimony that would contradict what was the video that we saw, plus the mother of, who was married in 1968, and her testimony about the chickens and the ongoing keeping of those chickens, all the way until the zoning code officer made them remove them, so we just
But you
ruled
know,
on that.
they also said that it was not continuous, that, there was a period of time when
Yeah.
it wasn't on.
Yeah, when she got married in 68, there
No,
were
no,
no
no,
chickens,
in
and then there was.
2018 or something.
Yeah, I don't.
I think the issue is because they saw the delivery of a chicken coop, they assumed
She
there
said-
were no
she said
chickens
there
until
were
they
no
got the
chickens
chicken
there.
coop.
Well,
But
doesn't mean that there
I don't know if
that's not
true or not.
valid.
I mean, if they have more information, then yeah, they could come,
Well, we were happy to hear more information and address our ruling, but so far nothing.
but there was never a public hearing scheduled because we didn't need one.
Yeah,
Forget I said.
okay. Any further business? Okay, so question, do we need to get these notarized, to accept
No,
the?
she will.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Okay.
yeah, I'll give them to Joyce.
Now, the other issue is, this is a thinner, book than the old one, so is this?
Pages are bigger.
The pages are bigger, but I mean, this is beyond your bailiwick now, you're no longer in office, but, We are expecting a rewrite of the coding laws. This is not that rewrite. That hasn't happened yet.
No,
This
you
is
have
just
to
a,
have a
it's
public
just a
hearing.
reprinting of what's existing.
You guys will know when we start rewriting the code.
Yeah, well, shouldn't that
One of
happen
your
pretty
members
soon?
is gonna be on that committee.
Pardon?
One of your members is supposed to be on that committee when they make the committee. The town board has to
Yeah.
create a zoning revision
And
committee.
it's kind of dropped off since the last time we talked about it. It hasn't been brought up.
We talked maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
A year ago.
Yeah, well, we got a ton of suggestions. For example, this whole thing about, the other thing about possessing fowl is you need at least an acre. And also to create a garden, you need at least an acre. So, I think this is R 1.5, there are dozens of people with gardens that have less than an acre. So there's all kinds of violation out there, so things like that.
There's all
need to
kinds
be-
of stuff in that book.
I have, 0.95 acres, but the house came with a chicken coop and a pig coop and a garden, so I was, like,
Total outlaw.
Built in 16, but
You should be arrested, dude.
Yeah, you're in a
We'll
lot of
try to keep
trouble.
you out of jail.
now it's on TV, it's,
Right.
but my suggestion, if you want to address the code, to start pushing the issue, whether somebody reaches out to the supervisor's office, and I would say come to the town board meeting as a representative from ZBA and say.
Yeah, one of us should do that, because we're running more and more into these issues, like the chickens.
I'm all about it. I would love to be on that committee as well.
I think we gotta get through some of the important issues that have been around for years before we get to the code, get them straightened out, and then do the code, you know?
We can juggle.
What issues?
The short-term rental, for one. That's a
what?
big short-term rental, that's a house.
Well, that stuff's gonna run its course.
Yeah.
And I would argue that's why this has been pushed back the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Because then once that gets done, then we'll, like I said.
You got the rail
Board will do is,
the rail
we've
trail.
been through it
going.
before, the board appoints what they call a zoning revision committee, ZRC. You get a zoning board member, a couple planning board members, a couple members of the public, whatever, you make it up. What you do is you go through the code, and basically they run down through the list, and they say, you know, there's a lot of little things here, and they check them off, and then there's some major ones that they wanna look at, and then the town goes forward with whatever they can handle at the time to revise. And I know last time we did it, there was about 10 or 15 items that needed to be updated. I'm sure there's probably that many, if not more now.
Yeah.
But it's an elongated process, and it doesn't have anything to do with the existing codes and stuff that are on there being acted upon. Again, it's similar to anything else, as you're making it, until it's adopted, it's not code. We can be a discussion of it, but the code as it stands today is what it stands.
Understood.
Because right now, there can't be any more than $700 in a bingo pot on play, so we're gonna wanna address that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we got inflation.
About 50/50s and stuff that run all the
Yeah.
time, all this fundraisers and stuff.
Like Hank's talking about, we have the comprehensive plan that also needs to be addressed, so we have a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that's overdue.
Yeah, good point.
Well, that was supposed to be looked at like every 5 years, something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, that revising the code, I mean, that sounds like a year-long process. All right, any other business this board needs to attend to? May I have a motion to close the business?
I make a motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning this meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting so adjourned.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Welcome back,
folks.
Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
Oh, my God.
You look the same.
Huh?
Yeah. thank
Still
you.
looks, no, he looks.
I didn't look
looks
like that several
stealth.
months ago.
Looks stealth.
Yeah.
Looks like a fighter pilot now.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like a fighter pilot.
Rob, how you doing? Good.
Well, today?
Sitting at my house waiting for
Busy.
top
Sure, I got a trip.
Top Gun,
Forget
yeah.
the episode, but it's like 9,000.
Top gun.
I'm taking people out.
I'm ready to go.
Which is gonna be a great time.